So we're going to turn an improper fraction into a mixed number. So first thing we need to know is what's an improper fraction, what's a mixed number. An improper fraction is in a fraction where you have the numerator, which is bigger than the denominator, which is smaller. Okay, that's an improper fraction. A proper fraction is a fraction where it's this usual sort of fraction where you have a small thing on the top and a bigger thing on the bottom. So improper means not proper. Okay. A mixed number is where you have two different things going on. You've got whole numbers, or remember we did look at integers, and you've also got fractions. So you've got two different types of things going on, and that's why it's called mixed. It's a mixed number. It has whole numbers and fractions. Now with the examples we're going to do here, we're going to turn these improper fractions into mixed numbers. And to do that, we're going to need to remember that a fraction, this bar here in the fraction, for example 1 over 2, really means 1 divided by 2. It's a divided by. So today what we're going to do with these examples is make sure we're dividing. So first thing we need to do, we've got here 10 over 3. Now that's the same as 10 divided by 3. That's what that means. So what we want to do is think about how many 3's go into 10. How many 3's are there in 10? And let's do that over here. We can do this using short division. So if we look, we've got, okay, 3 going into 10. Now we have to think, how many 3's go into 10? Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, too big. So 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and we have a remainder of 1. That's our leftover. Now this has actually answered for us how to put this into a mixed number. This number up here, when you do your division, this number is going to be the whole numbers that you have in your mixed number. This number, the remainder, is going to be how many of the fraction you have. It's going to be, in fact, the numerator. Remember, the numerator is the top of your fraction. So we know that 10 over 3, if we look at how many 3's go into 10, 3 3's go into 10, plus we had 1 left over. Now the fraction here that we had was thirds, and that's why our answer is going to be in thirds as well. Now if we think about this as a picture, it's nice to think about this as a picture. Let's think about thirds. I'm just drawing some circles. I'm going to divide these into thirds. Now we've got 10 thirds that we started with. Okay, so if we colour it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you can see from colouring it in, you've got 3 lots of 3 lots of thirds, which makes this. Okay, so 3 wholes. And you've also got this 1/3 here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 thirds to make up the 3, and then this third here. So that's where we get our parts from in the mixed number, the wholes, and then any leftovers, any remainders, they're our leftover parts here that didn't make a whole. So let's do the same thing with this next one. We've got 5 over 4. Remember, it's always a good idea to write this down just as what it is, 5 divided by 4. Okay, same as when we read left to right, you read top to bottom with fractions, so 5 divided by 4. So we're going to do the division again, nice and quick. So 5 divided by 4, we always put, whichever one here is second, put that outside. We want to know how many 4's are in 5. Now we know there's 1 4 in 5 with 1 left over as our remainder. So our mixed number is going to be the whole number, 1, plus 1/4 left over. Okay, remember we know it's going to be a quarter because of what this number is here. The fraction is always going to be the same denominator. This last one here, we've got 22 divided by 10, and we'll do it over here as well. So remember that the second one here is going on the outside. How many 10s are in 22? Now we know 10 times 2 is 20 with 2 left over. So we know that this is our whole numbers. Whole numbers are above, and this is going to be our numerator. So you can see it's not always 1, it just happened to be 1 in these ones. So our whole number is 2. Remember to look over here. Our answer is going to be over 10, and we know we have 2/10. Now because you've done simplifying, you might find here that you could simplify this. So looking at the 2 and the 10, there is a number that goes into both, and that's 2. So if we divide the top and the bottom by 2, we've got our whole number, and 2 divided by 2 is 1, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so going from improper fractions to mixed numbers, we've found out today for these 3, we know that 10 thirds is the same as 3 and 1/3. We know that 5 over 4 is the same as 1 1/4, and we also know that 22 over 10 is the same as 2 wholes and 1/5 in what we would call the simplest form. This is correct as well, but this is the better way to write it because you've simplified that fraction down as far as you can. So converting from improper to mixed numbers.